It's been a funny couple of days for me. Always good, no problems, but yesterday I had a whole day to myself, right? And I think I'd put too much expectation on wanting to make the most of it, right? I had quite a few things just to sit with and decide how I wanted to take things, right? Creatively, got a lot of projects on at the moment, and there's a few things, 3 different songs really that I need to make guitar parts for or come up with some ideas for. 3 different criterias, and I had the whole day or the whole afternoon just to sit and allow that to be, right? Allow some things to come. And I'm a big believer in that, right? I'm a big believer in just allowing the time and putting the energy there without much expectation. And it was probably that I had that little bit of expectation in my mind of, an afternoon to myself to make some productive things happen, or hope that some productive things happen. It probably makes sense that it didn't come. It's actually what I noticed time and time again. When I'm just in the flow, when I just allow things to happen, when I just put the energy there, sooner or later something special comes. And it's worth waiting for those moments. I went for a walk in the afternoon. I walked to the farm, which is about 25 minutes, half hour away, and about a 40-minute trip round. And it was really chucking it down with rain. And I said to myself, go and get some eggs. Go and get a tray of eggs from the farm. And I got there was no eggs. So I just said to myself, well, it was good to have a walk regardless, get out in the fresh air, even though I come back soaking wet. I also had loads of things I wanted to say and record. I turned the camera on and I sat for about half hour trying to say the words I wanted to say, and nothing was coming out. It's like I had too much in my mind that I wanted to get across that nothing ended up happening. And it was just a reminder of when it's meant to come, it will come. And it's the same with creativity, right? It really, really is. Yeah, I'm not very good at wasting a day, right? I'm a Capricorn ruled by Saturn. It's very much about time and making peace with time and not being ruled too much by time. And also that Capricorn in me likes to be productive. My chart's all about production and being productive. So I am learning not to have a dip or class a day not to be successful just if I haven't been productive, right? So that's a learning thing for me, and something that I've become a lot better at over the years. Yeah, it's funny, days like yesterday it sort of comes up again. I went to bed with a smile on my face. I was happy, but I definitely had one of those days. It was a bit of a funky energy. It was a bit weird energy for me. Anyway, today has been somewhat similar, but I've took a different approach of just letting go and allowing the day to be what it needs to be. I had a good workout earlier outside, which funny enough I didn't do yesterday because I wanted to get straight into things. It's ironic, right? I didn't have a workout. I didn't want to go to the farm to get eggs because I wanted to crack on and be productive, yet nothing happened. Today I've took the complete opposite approach, and in the back of my mind I kept thinking I better get in the studio and do some stuff. It wasn't quite feeling right. Instead I made some bone broth and done some astrology. I sat with my journals and just started writing, and eventually I'd come in here, right, and I started making some music, and wasn't really happy with the guitar parts I was recording, and all of a sudden a line came, right, and it sort of sum up my a lyric come, and it sort of sum up my feeling and the chat that I have with myself in these times when I'm wondering what's next and I'm wondering what path to take and everything else, and taking life somewhat too seriously at times rather than just being in that full flow of letting go and allowing my future to be what it's going to be and having true faith in that. And that's what I believe, right? And that's the energy that I'm in most of the time, and something that I look back on now and recognize how far I've come in that aspect. Yet sometimes I catch myself falling into those same things of trying to control and not be in the flow as much as I feel is necessary, right, for the special stuff to come. And then in about 5 minutes I wrote a song, and it just goes to show, right, like the moments are meant to be the moments, and they happen when they're meant to happen. And sure, I'm all for putting the energy there, and actually encourage us to put energy into our creative things, right? Put the energy there without expectation, without almost any even ideas, right? Because when you haven't got the ideas but you're just putting the energy there, it allows for these special moments to come through, the creativity, the idea that's actually meant to come through. And then when it does, you can run with that and grab it, then you've got all the direction you need to make it what you want. When we try and control these things, we can fall into the habits of trying to recreate what someone else has already created, maybe our favourite producers or our favourite artists. It's beautiful that we admire their work and that we look at other people's creative projects and think, wow, if only I could make that. We're always going to be inspired by the outside world and our favourite creatives. Yeah, it's important to remember that that's not what we're here to create. That was their thing to create, right? And we've got our own special things to create that will come through us in the right time when they're ready to, if we allow and put ourselves in a space where they can come through. And that's why I think you hear so many creatives say, I don't know where that come from. You know, it's like it come from above, and in many ways it is, right? Don't wait for ideas to create, just put the energy there, and sooner or later something will come. And they're more likely to be the special moments, the actual special ideas. We look for inspiration and we try and create things that make us feel a certain way, or make others feel a certain way, maybe the way that we feel when we see other people's work that we admire. So it's natural that we look for inspiration and think, oh, if only I could make something that makes me feel like that or make others feel like that. Where if you let go of all that and not try and control it, you'll have your own versions of those things that other people will look at or listen to, and it will make them a certain way, make them feel a certain way and inspire them in a certain way. And these things can catch you off guard, right? And it seems to be when you completely let go and don't really try to create anything, just be creative, just allow the time there. Maybe pick up your guitar, start writing, start painting, whatever it is, right? But these moments do come when they're meant to. And I have to get better, or I've realised over the time, I know this, right? And I tell myself, this is the internal chat I have with myself about not forcing it, not getting frustrated when things aren't working. And it avoids creative block, right? When you have that no expectation, if you're not feeling inspired or not having ideas. I've got better at not fearing that, because I know it's a process and it will come. Yeah, it's interesting, days like yesterday and this afternoon, you can still feel that, like, why is nothing coming? And then it comes, and then it all kind of makes sense, right? And what come for me this evening, this little song that I've written and I'm looking forward to recording, sums up this mood, so much so that it makes me feel like I was meant to feel that, what I felt yesterday. I was meant to feel what I felt this afternoon. I was meant to be in that emotional thing of wondering what's next, and in the head, and feeling what I was feeling for the thing to come. It's all divine, it really is, and we can really let go of that and allow it to come and make peace with that, rather to control too much, right? With creative block and everything else. And this thing of like not trying to recreate what other people have created because we've got our own special thing plays out time and time again, and I hear it quite often. I heard it this week, and I remember myself when I was really diving into music and wanted to up my music production and my quality of music. I'd listen to some of my favourite producers and think, wow, if only I could make something like that. Yet it's in the moments where I'm not in that mindset that I actually end up making good stuff. And when I am trying to make a certain track like this or like that, or run with this idea, I want it to be like this, it normally falls flat on its face, right? I'm forcing it. I had a message this week of a guy saying, I'm trying to make music like one of your tracks, and he named one of my tracks, right? And it just made me chuckle, because I know the feeling, and it's flattering, it's quite humbling that he loves the way that track makes him feel. And it is also one of my best-selling tracks. It's also one of my most streamed tracks. Yet it's such a simple track, and one that I did not put too much energy into, but I had a lot of fun making. It's a really simple track, there's not many layers, I didn't overproduce it, yet it's my best selling, and it's one that gets mentioned a lot to me. This is a prime example, right? I've sort of ended up with my own version of that thing that I'm talking about, where people listen to it, or some, even just a few, might listen to it and think, I'd love to make music like that. Yet they'd probably have more success of achieving something like that if they got out the way of all that, got that out their head, and just put in a space where their own thing will come through. I would not have thought that track that gets mentioned so much to me would be my version of that, where others listen to and wish that they could make a song like that made them feel the way that one does. Yeah, as I said, it's my most simple, I didn't overproduce it, and I would never have thought that would have that effect on people, or be my most streamed and everything else. I actually sat on it for a year, not doing anything. And when I pulled the project back up, I didn't really change much. I didn't overproduce it, as I said. I just shared it, and it became my best sold on my shop, and one of my most played, and by some of my favourite DJs. This is in like the dance world, the house world, one of my other projects. Yeah, it's that thing, right? Not trying to recreate what other people have done, and allow these special moments to come for you creatively. And how do we do that? The truth is, just get out of the way of yourself, not trying to control it too much, but put the energy there. Don't wait for ideas to start being creative. Don't wait for ideas or inspiration. Just start entering that space of, right, I'm doing something, I don't know what it is, and something might come or it might not. And don't be frustrated when it doesn't come, because like I've felt tonight, sooner or later it will. Once again, it comes back round, and it all kind of makes sense to the process that you was in the whole time. It's just waiting for something to bite. It's very much like a fisherman. casting his hook into the water, right, with the bait on. That's his intention, that's his energy, hoping or deciding, telling the universe he wants to catch something. He doesn't know if he's going to catch something, but when the fish bites, that's the idea coming in that he can then run with and be creative with and have all the direction and inspiration that he needs to feel like he's completing this project or idea, right? We have to remember this. Don't try and recreate what other people have created. We're always going to have inspiration and admire other people's work, and that's a beautiful thing. It's an important part of the cycle, the creator, and then in an ideal world there'll be people waiting to admire it. It's always going to be, and I love that it's that way. But when it comes to creating ourselves and being in that space, it's important to remember not to have too much control and too much expectation. And this is why I always say not having ideas is actually quite good, because it allows you to have no expectation and just to start playing, start experimenting, and something will come along that journey, along that process, that you can think, the magic's there. That's the thing that's come through, that's mine, and that I can run with. And even mine sounds a bit strange. That sounds too much ownership. If you're putting yourself in a place so these ideas can come through, these little special moments can come through. As I said, a lot of the time they're not yours, they're not mine, they're these things that we're in a perfect moment to come through. And I think that's what we're trying to achieve as creatives. And through that you can then find a sound, find a style and everything else, and then you're learning along the way. Inspiration and ideas and looking at other people's work and learning from it is not a bad thing, I'm not saying that. But it can very much hold you back and actually give you creative block. Bring you frustration when it's not turning out the way that you planned, and that it kind of makes sense that it didn't. It's not yours to recreate, right? You just need to put yourself in a place where something can come through. This very much gets rid of creative block. All right, keeps us in a healthy mindset. Also allows the special things to come through. If you turn up each time and just allow stuff to happen, there might be 10 mediocre ones and one real special one. And sometimes we need to go through all that mediocre to get that special one. And a lot of the time it's when we're having fun, it's when we haven't got expectation that the special ones come. And there's not a lot of thought needed in it a lot of the time, right? It just happens. And I love that. Having a to-do list or everything else can be a tricky balance with music or anything creative, right? When you've got things to do. Sometimes it does just flow with ease, other times there's some friction, but it kind of makes sense that there's some friction, and it's important to learn to allow that to be, and then you'll come out of it. And a lot of the time it will come through very quickly and show itself really quickly. You could spend 6 hours trying to do something, yet the whole song comes through in 5 minutes or half hour. And these seem to be the special ones. These seem to be the moments that are quite fleeting, but if you grab them and you're ready for them, it's exciting and it's fun and it's pure joy from that moment on, right, of actually completing it. It's also likely that it'll be them ones that other people listen to or see and really admire. You didn't force it, you just allowed it to be what it was meant to be, and you was in a point in your life where it could come through and it could come out. That's the way I see it, and that's the way that it's shown to me time and time again. It's quite a precious thing. The rain's falling, you might be able to hear it. It sounds lovely. It's my Friday night, learning a new song, writing a new song, after a day and a half of feeling like, what am I doing? It turns out I was having this song arrive to me in those moments where I was a little bit confused and wondering what's next. This is what was next, and now it's going to be a pleasure to bring it to life, and I'm going to enjoy putting some time into it. You're taking life so seriously, a life that's not designed to be. Grow young, grow young, grow young. Courage is a beauty to see. Your sun is shining as it's meant to be. Grow young, grow young, grow young. Speak to Father, he's proud of what you've become. Grow young, grow young, grow young, my son. song, let go for what's to come. Grow young, grow young, grow young. Grow young, grow young. It's a simple track, simple song. But it's nice that the words are flowing through at the moment. As I said, in 5 minutes the words come through, and it is very much me talking to myself in terms of not taking life too seriously. Again, that Capricorn side of me can be quite control, and they say that Capricorns, the older they get, the younger they get. The older they grow, the younger they get. And I try to keep that in mind. Becoming more playful as I get older. Grow young, grow young, grow young.